Well, hey there, my dear friends. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but of course you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below so I know it's the first time you're hearing my voice or seeing my face. Today is day 4 of our 30-day challenge, and we are going to talk about the book Infinite Possibilities by Mike Dooley. Not sure if you've ever heard of Mike Dooley, but he does a really fun thing, and if you're on the internet and watching me, you're obviously on the internet, but he will send you, if you sign up for his mailing list, a note from the universe. So every day in your inbox, you would get a message from the universe, which I stumbled upon it years ago now, and I started and stopped and started and stopped. I'm a little behind in my email, like, I don't know, over 20,000 emails behind. I pop in and I look at what I have to look at, and everything else just stays in my box. I need a new virtual assistant to help me just filter through my email these days. But Mike Dooley did that, and over the last few years then, he actually was in The Secret. If anybody has seen that movie or read that book, he was in the book and the movie, well, not the book, but the movie The Secret a long, long time ago. And he wrote this book called Infinite Possibility, and a lot of it is about it's life lessons and things that tie into the law of attraction and some metaphysical things that you may or may not be able to relate to. But what is more important to me than sharing the specific book with you today is the meaning of infinite possibilities. Do you understand that we all have infinite possibilities, infinite opportunities surrounding us all the time? And what does that have to do with supersizing your business, you ask? Well, because in order to supersize our business, we need to define what supersize means to us. And one of the coolest things about controlling your own life and having your own business and working for yourself or building things that help other people, and that's part of it, is we get to define supersize for ourselves. What supersize my business means to me, or supersize my life for that matter, is different than what it'll mean for each of you. And that's what ends up happening with everything in our lives, even though we don't necessarily know that or know it at the time, but we, over our lifetime, discover that it is up to us to define everything. It is up to us to make our own rules. It is up to us to define our own path and realize that we have infinite possibilities in doing that. There's so many different ways we can do that. And one of the ways that I personally do that is by reading. I read a lot, and I'm telling you, it's not always easy because I have to read with a magnifying glass. Or I read on my Kindle, which actually it is sitting here. It's actually charging next to me. But I have to read on my Kindle. So I think I have 50,000 books that I've gotten on my, not on this Kindle, but over time on Kindle. And have I read them all? Of course not. I haven't read 50,000 books on my Kindle. But because I've only had a Kindle for, I think, 7 years. So I haven't read 50,000 books yet on my Kindle, but I've got lots of books. So deciding what book am I going to choose today to talk about, just the choosing the book was really interesting because there's so many books I could have chosen. And it's part of how I decide and define what's possible for me is by reading and surrounding myself with a lot of different things. For example, Personal Power, the Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. Well, what does that have to do, declaring your personal power, what does that have to do with your life and defining what supersize means for your business? Well, it reminds me that I get to decide. I get to choose. I get to claim my personal power and decide what supersize means for me. So today, I would like to challenge you to define, if you're growing a business, what would supersizing your business mean to you? You define supersize. Or if you're just looking at something in your life, what are some possibilities that you could be open to that you maybe even never considered before because you felt like think of a decision that you're having to make and you feel like you've only got like 1 or 2 options, and just take a deep breath and think, oh, what if I really do have infinite possibilities and infinite ways of dealing with and looking at this situation? What else might be possible? That's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with day 5 of our Supersize Your Business Challenge here on the Daily Live Challenge. Bye. Pajama Grandma out.